and you all can just enjoy.
What's going on, everyone? Seeing this number jump, woof. Man, we got so many people on the Zoom right now. This is amazing. It's your boy here, Benny Johnson. I am here live for the chapter summer send-off from the Benny Studios on Capitol Hill. Here we are on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., the belly of the beast. The whole reason we have all this nonsense, too much government. That's where I live. We are here from inside of Benny Studios, all right? You will see really exciting painting of a boat behind me, all right? And we have some plants over here. Those are plants from Nurse Kate. And we are here on the Turning Point Summer Send-Off. If you're on the East Coast, we're enjoying this beautiful sunset, which is glaring harshly into my shiny face. But my face is shiny generally because I've been smiling, because I'm happy, because we have proven correctly what we've all known all along, which is that socialism does indeed suck. Kids, how many times have we told you socialism sucks? How many times have we begged you at Turning Point to say, hey, socialism sucks, this isn't good. Taxation is theft. None of this is good. You don't want it here in America. And now look, graduating class of 2020 gets to graduate with a free trial of socialism. How has it been? How has this worked out for you? You might actually be able to find out if you follow Benny on the Block, which is our new show that we just relaunched last week. Very exciting. And a new episode every single Friday. And we're going to be asking people those questions. But I would say probably not well. Most of Americans hate the fact that they are living under socialism right now. They hate Orwellian, totalitarian, tyrant-level government control. They hate what is going on, which is the outright and abject abuse of power by leftists. And we told you all along. We told you. We weren't lying to you. These leftists, if given the chance, were going to abuse their power and attempt to enforce and instill full communism, full socialism on this country. I call it crisis communism. But it's a blessing. And I want you to always be happy. And I want you to always know that we are fighting and we are winning. And it's really special to fight an enemy that you can see. And this is what's so important. Come with me on this little journey here. It's really hard to call out the totalitarians who are hiding and who don't want to show you who they really are. And what happens is when you give someone unlimited power, which is what has happened during this moment, you get to see how they would govern with unlimited power. And so you're able to see exactly what we've been saying here at Turning Point for so many years, that there is a strand of leftism that is wanting to take away your basic rights, wanting to close down churches, wanting to close down places of worship, wanting to destroy private business, wanting to shut down your ability to choose freely for yourself the things in which God has allowed you to choose, the things in which rights that were given to you by God. It's in our Constitution. Endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, which among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That means that our rights predate government. Our rights are natural rights. They predate the government and the people that wish to take them away from you. And the solemn duty of our government in America is to preserve those rights. It's really, really special. And so we're so proud of you. We're so proud of our chapter leaders. We're so proud of our Turning Point activists and advocates. And you guys have probably seen we've been fighting the meme wars. All right. The meme wars have not shut down just because of this shutdown. In fact, they've been raging ever hotter and ever better. And us conservatives are winners. We're going to win the meme wars. We're going to win the culture wars. And we're going to defeat this strand of leftism, socialism, communism that wants to overtake our country. And in a moment like this, you get to really see the true colors of those who want to steal your freedom. So view it as a blessing, view it as a special moment, view it as a time when we can all be further emboldened in our task at hand, which is the fight for freedom and the protection of the greatest country in human history, America. Now, there's one man who knows exactly what we're talking about here when it comes to defending America, when it comes to protecting our freedom, and when it comes to actually putting your life on the line and protecting the values and the rights that we have been endowed with by our Creator. That man is Congressman Dan Crenshaw. We have a very special address for you here from Dan Crenshaw. For those of you graduates who may have missed out on a commencement speech from some inspirational speaker or someone in your community, guess what? We made a commencement speech just for you. So here live on this Zoom with the hundreds of activists watching, world premiere of Dan Crenshaw's commencement address to you, the Turning Point activist. Thank you for all that you do.
It's lagging for me. I mean, it's on his end that it's lagging, not mine. It's just that his computer can't actually.
To America's graduates, first, congratulations. Second, this won't be your typical graduation speech. After all, it's not your typical graduation, so I won't read you lofty quotes from dead philosophers or deliver platitudes about finding yourself. The real world doesn't have time for that anyway, and you got to be ready for the real world. You get to graduate in one of the most memorable years in recent history. You're probably not that excited about it. I get that. Why would you be? You're stuck at home instead of spending your last year of school with your friends. You had plans. You had epic parties to throw, people to say goodbye to, a graduation to look forward to with all the gown wearing and cap throwing that entails. Instead of graduation pictures, you'll get, well, Tiger King and toilet paper memes, with a Zoom prom if you're lucky. But look at it this way. People will remember 2020, and that counts for something. A lot, actually. You may not realize it now, but you're being given something that many graduating classes before you did not have. Perspective. I know a little bit about that. I graduated high school in 2002. A year before, terrorists attacked our country and changed my generation forever. I graduated high school knowing that I would be going to war. 2 deployments to Iraq, another to Afghanistan, and a run-in with an IED blast that cost me my right eye. You want to learn a new perspective? Well, try losing an eye. And I don't mean a new sense of depth perception. I mean a new perspective. A perspective that forces you to tell a different story. Something that goes like this. I don't have to wear an eye patch. I get to wear an eye patch. And I wouldn't change that for anything. See, perspective is an important thing. It reveals a world, an experience, that gives you a previously unseen truth. And that truth is this. We are going to overcome this moment. Things are going to get better, a lot better. You think that isn't true? Is this the single toughest moment of your life? Maybe it is. If that's the case, then try this truth. Others have been through harder times than this, and they got through it, and you can too. You know, 8 years ago, I was woken up from a 5-day medically induced coma by a breathing tube being ripped out of my throat. I was in a military hospital, bedridden, blind, unable to move. It was the worst physical trauma I'd ever lived through. And self-pity was certainly an option. It always is. It's a tempting one. It's easy. It's even understandable. But it wouldn't have gotten me anywhere. So instead, I looked for perspective. See, my mom battled breast cancer for 5 years while she raised me and my brother. She eventually lost that battle, but I never once watched her live with an ounce of self-pity. If she could do it, so could I. That's perspective. From there, I met my wife, got married, went to Harvard, and now I'm a congressman. The American dream is possible for everyone, even if you get blown up every once in a while. Perspective gives you the fortitude to stiffen your spine and persevere through the worst of times. You may not be getting a graduation party, but you are being blessed with perspective. Lucky you. Now that you have that perspective, here are some lessons that got me from the battlefield to Congress. Lesson 1. Choose your heroes wisely. Everyone you meet has something to offer you. The people you have looked up to, maybe a teacher, a coach, a parent, a friend, have something about them that speaks to you, inspires you, makes you better. Figure out what that is. Copy it. There is a roadmap to success that has been paved by those who went before you. Find them. Decide who you want to be. Visualize your best self and be that hero. Lesson 2. Shame is good. Not shaming others, but shame in the sense of holding yourself accountable. Feel a sense of shame when you don't live up to that hero you decided you would be. Feel bad about that time you skipped practice or wouldn't let the new kids sit with your friends at lunch. Feel bad when you show up late to your new job. Only you know when you're not putting in the effort you could be, and only you can really hold yourself accountable for doing it. Only when we acknowledge our shortcomings can we actually become better people. Lesson 3. Forget about Plan B. This means don't quit. Quitting is a choice, and it's never Plan A. Plan B was passing the exam. Plan A was acing it. Plan B was a resume that was good enough. Plan A was one that got employers to compete for your talents. When I say don't quit, I don't mean you have to stick to a path that isn't working out for you. That isn't quitting. Changing directions after a confrontation with some reality. Quitting means giving up on yourself. Quitting means settling on a version of yourself that you know could be better. Lesson 4. Live with a sense of duty. There are virtues in this life that you should pursue for the simple reason that they are good, inherently good. Patience, politeness, following the law, getting good grades, respecting your parents, living a healthy life. Even when there may be no reward for doing the right thing, there's no excuse not to do it. This is a duty to yourself, a duty to be part of the solution, not the problem. And to live up to your best self, you must live with a sense of duty. Lesson 5. Be still. The world is filled with sensationalized news media, with overly emotional headlines looking for clicks, online bullies attacking your character, and bad people trying to take advantage of you. That's the reality. You will have to confront these things. And when you do, you will have a choice. Do you confront these challenges with stillness and grace, or with emotion and outrage? Emotional reactions will chip away at your mental well-being, your relationships, and your ability to persevere through hardship. So stay calm, stay still. Lesson 6, embrace hardship. You know, in today's modern society, we've increased comfort and reduced hardship to an extraordinary degree. Now, we should be happy about that, but also aware of what that does to our ability to confront hardship when it actually confronts us. We are becoming increasingly fragile, frightened, and offended at everything. Well, that won't help you when the hard times come. So find new ways to challenge yourself, and do it often. Climb that mountain, learn that new skill. Ask for more responsibility from your boss, not less. Hardship, especially when you seek it out, will make you better prepared for the world and more likely to succeed in it. You're graduating in a unique time. It won't be easy. Your first job might suck, might not be your first choice, but you better believe it's important. Why? Because everything you do is important. This is America, where we are blessed to live in a country that guarantees our God-given freedoms. Earn that freedom by living as a citizen driven by purpose and resolve. Practice perspective. Remember, it could be harder. It can always be harder. The story we tell ourselves is the story that really matters. And I want you to tell a story that you control. That is the difference between owning your own destiny and letting someone else dictate it to you. Remember, I don't have to wear an eye patch. I get to wear an eye patch. You don't have to miss your graduation. You get to miss it. You get to graduate during a time in American history that was tougher than last year and the year before. You get to be stronger for it. You get to overcome challenges that your older classmates didn't. You get to own the story that gets told from this moment on. Now, I want to leave you with one last thing. It's called an ethos. An ethos is the characteristic spirit of a culture or community. In the SEAL teams, we have an ethos. It tells us who we should be. It tells us what we should aspire to. Now, here's an American ethos that I want to leave you with. I will not quit in the face of danger or pain or self-doubt. I will not justify the easier path before me. I decide that all my actions, not just some, matter. Every small task is a contribution toward a higher purpose. Every day is undertaken with a sense of duty to be better than I was yesterday, even in the smallest of ways. I seek out hardship. I do not run from pain, but embrace it, because I derive strength from my suffering. I confront the inevitable trials of life with a smile. I plan to keep my head to be still when chaos overwhelms me. I will tell the story of my failures and hardships as a victor, not a victim. I will be grateful. Millions who have gone before me have suffered too much, fought too hard, and been blessed with far too little for me to squander this life. So I won't. My purpose will be to uphold and protect the spirit of our great republic, knowing that the values we hold dear can be preserved only by a strong people. So I will do my part, and I will live with fortitude. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2020.
Hi everyone, my name is Amy Samuel and I'm the Administrative Director of our National Field Program here at Turning Point USA. I want to thank you all so much for joining us this evening and welcome you to our summer send-off. This is such a special event to our field program because it's really our way of closing out the semester with you all. Now, even though this has definitely been the craziest semester that we've ever experienced, we have still managed to host nearly 50 virtual events nationwide since the majority of school closings. That's incredible. I work here in our Phoenix headquarters and I manage our resources, organization, and activism needs for this department. I'm here to tell you that if you are not currently involved in our field program, we want to be sure that you do so before the end of this event. Whether you're homeschool, high school, college, or even graduated, there is a place for you in this field program, and there is no better time than to join the fight to save America than today. All you have to do is go to tpusa.com/get-involved, and we'll have a field representative reach out to you. With that being said, thanks so much for joining us. We have so much in store for this evening, and now I'm going to turn it over to our Strategic Director, Morgan Burgoon.
Hey everyone, my name is Morgan Burgoon and I am the Field Strategy Director for Turning Point USA. We are so glad that you are here tonight for this special event and to celebrate the end of a year with us. I know a lot of you are not just celebrating the end of a school year, but are also celebrating the end of your college experiences and your graduations. So congrats, class of 2020, you did it and we are so proud of you. Please make sure you check out the TPUSA Alumni Program, which allows you to stay involved in the movement and provides exclusive networking opportunities that you won't want to miss as you enter the workforce. Everyone should also stay tuned for announcements on where Charlie Kirk will be headed this upcoming year for his campus tour. If your chapter is interested in hosting a culture war event, please talk to your field representative about the next steps. I really hope you enjoyed tonight's summer send-off event. And now please welcome the Field Enterprise Director, Andrew Seifer.
Thank you, Morgan. Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Seifer, and I'm the Field Enterprise Director for Turning Point USA. In my capacity, I am privileged to oversee all of our personnel that get to work with each and every single one of you on a daily basis. Our staff loves what they do because they get to work with you as students, leaders, and activists to become effective mobilizers in the conservative movement. We are fortunate here at Turning Point USA to have over 250 part-time and full-time staff that work on a daily basis to serve your needs. And thanks to you, we have had a monumental year on campus. This year has been so good, in fact, that we have had over 150,000 students sign up to get involved with Turning Point USA. We have had over 800 Turning Point USA chapters chartered this school year. And your chapters have hosted over 270 events on campus. And those events that you put on reached over 20,000 students in person. Unbelievable. I cannot believe what we have accomplished together. And if you think that is amazing, just wait for what is to come next year, for big things are on the horizon. And for those of you that are moving on or graduating, congratulations. But know that you still have a home here at Turning Point USA. And I encourage you to go on our website and check out our careers that we have posted, or to join one of our Turning Point USA alumni chapters. Now, we get to hear from two of our many incredible chapter leaders that we have across the country. Our first student today hails from the great state of Wisconsin. Skylar Dunsing is our chapter president and campus coordinator at the University of Wisconsin, Madison. Please welcome Skylar.
Well, hey, Andrew. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And as he said, I'm Skylar Dunsing. I'm the chapter president at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And I can confidently say that I believe Turning Point USA will change your life. As a conservative student and a business owner, I uphold many conservative values. And I think it's important to be involved with an organization like Turning Point that upholds the same values that I do. And I also understand the importance of networking. And let me tell you right now, your opportunities to network with Turning Point USA are second to none. Whether it's as an ambassador at CPAC like I was a couple short months ago, or attending one of our many activist conferences across the country, like the Student Action Summit in West Palm Beach, Florida, you'll have chances to meet with thousands of college students, much like yourself, and network with some of the biggest names in our conservative movement. And I would say for me personally, my favorite thing to do on campus with my chapter members is get out and recruit new chapter members through what we call tabling. Tabling is an excellent opportunity to go out and tell other college students it's cool to be a conservative and it's okay to be one on campus. And it's a great chance to go out too and let everybody know what our Turning Point USA movement is all about. So I can tell you right now, I'm very proud to call myself a Turning Point USA activist. And if you haven't already, I can guarantee you that you will be too. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Skylar. Thank you for your leadership in the state of Wisconsin and for your chapter. We love our activists like you. Our next great student leader comes from the state of Texas. Lauren McCoy is an example to all of us. When her and her friends applied to be a registered student organization at Texas Christian University, they were denied for unbased reason. Instead of capitulating to the administration, they decided to fight back, and eventually they prevailed. Please welcome Lauren McCoy, chapter president of Texas Christian University.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. So as you said, I'm Lauren McCoy. I am the chapter president at Texas Christian University. So our chapter had actually tried to get approved for about a whole year, and we were denied 3 separate times. And it wasn't until Charlie himself actually tweeted about our situation that brought the much needed attention towards our university's decision. So TCU students, TPUSA members in Texas and across the nation all rallied behind our struggle for free speech and assembly on our campus. So with a little cordiality and a lot of fire, we ultimately got the chapter approved. The reason I'm so proud to be a part of Turning Point USA is because they always embody the same values that I do, which is liberty, limited government, and the absolute backing of our constitutional rights. So they always provide a absolute support for all of the activists across the nation. And so I wanted to thank Turning Point and Charlie for everything. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Lauren. And now we're going to welcome our Turning Point USA contributors. Please welcome Rob Smith, Graham Allen, Isabel Brown, and Alex Clark.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, guys. Welcome.
Okay, everybody's here. Okay, great. So as you guys know, I guess I'll just take the lead. It's okay. This is Rob Smith. We got Alex Clark, Graham Allen, Isabel Brown here. We're all the Turning Point USA contributors. And we're just going to go through and say a couple of words about our experiences on campus and basically about how amazing you guys all are. I'll start out for me personally. One of the favorite thing that I get to do with Turning Point USA is that I get to go out to speak on the college campuses. They never cease to be amazing events. Sometimes they're amazing for different reasons, as we've all seen. But it's an opportunity to really speak to the students and to really talk about a lot of the issues that you guys are going through. And why I appreciate what you all do so much on the campuses is that, you know, when I fly in or when any of us flies in for a day and we speak, it is the culmination of weeks of hard work on you guys' end. I mean, I see you guys tag me on Instagram. I see you guys tabling on campus. I see you guys creating the flyers. I see you guys replacing the flyers when some of them get torn down. Like I had a situation where some of my flyers are getting torn down. And you guys just stand up in the face of so much. And I just wanted to personally thank you guys for all of that. And for me to wrap up my portion before I go, I want to tell you all specifically that I think that a lot of us get a lot of flack on the internet for being conservatives. I know I get a lot of flack for being a conservative because people say, well, these conservatives are racist and they're sexist and they're homophobic and they're all of these different buzzwords that mean nothing and are not true. But when I interact with you guys on campuses, I see literally not only the future of the conservative movement, but the best of the conservative movement. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You guys are the best of this movement. I can't tell you how many amazing conversations I've had with you. And I just want to thank you all. So whoever wants to hop in, go ahead, hop in.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Graham Allen here. Rob, that was awesome. I'm coming to you live from my house in South Carolina, and I'm sitting here thinking about you guys and all the amazing things that you guys have accomplished this past year. And like Rob said, when we come to your college universities, it is an amazing experience to see. When I'm sitting here, I've got my daughter over there staring at me while I'm trying to talk, and I've got my other boys downstairs. And I just find myself kind of thinking about the change for the good that you guys are being a part of for what you do every single day. I know that when I was your age, it wasn't something that I thought about all the time, but one day, if you don't already, one day you'll have children. And when you have children, you think about America and where we are as a country, and are we going to leave this country the way or better, hopefully, for our kids. And I believe the conservative movement and the things that you guys are fighting for and standing up for every single day is truly making a difference. And it is paving the way for our future generation to be the best generation that America has seen yet. And so I just want to take a moment and say that you guys are so much smarter than me, than I was at your age. And I just want to say, thank you guys so much for being so kind to us when you let this redneck from Mississippi come speak at your universities. It is truly Turning Point USA and all of the amazing people there and you guys have truly changed my life for the better. And I just want to say thank you. So thank you guys. Congratulations. And I can't wait to see what you do next.
Turning Point kiddos, I am so happy you guys took the time to log into another Zoom call. I've been doing lots of events with you guys via region. We've got South Central coming up tomorrow, which will be really fun, but I know it's the last thing on earth that you want to do is get on yet another Zoom call when all of your classes have been moved online and you're doing pretty much everything through a screen. So thank you guys all so much for taking the time to be here today, to encourage each other and to celebrate the really incredible work that you guys have been doing all year and that you're going to continue to do going into next fall. Obviously, none of us could have predicted the situation that we are in right now, but what I have been so blown away by over the past few months has been all of your dedication to continue speaking up for conservative principles, for limited government, for free speech on your college campus, even if you can't actually be on your college campus. We saw so many chapters continue to be denied by the university administration this year. TCU, Lauren just spoke to all of you, and she's an incredible resource for any of you navigating that problem. We're continuing to see that at schools in the Northeast, at Baylor University, and yet somehow you guys are still fighting back and you're still fighting to have Turning Point have a voice on your college campuses. So huge kudos to you guys for doing that and to continue standing up and speaking up for what is right and ultimately what is going to save our country. I am the baby of the Turning Point contributor team. I'll be 23 next Wednesday, so I'm really excited about that. But I can't pretend to be older than most of you. Most of you tuning into this call are probably older than me, so I won't give you any sage life advice. But I will say this. I know what we're asking you to do is incredibly difficult sometimes when it comes to getting up, to speaking the truth, to putting yourself on the front line of that fight on your college campus, and risk a lot of relationships being lost, risk mentorships with your professors being lost, or get called any of the things that the four of us are called on an everyday basis, really. Racist, misogynist, anti-woman, anti-immigrant. I mean, we all know the list. It could go on and on. But like you guys, I've lived that reality. I was a chapter founder and a chapter president on my campus, doing that every day and getting called all of those things and wondering what the heck am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to turn? And what's the best way to move forward? So I want you all to know that myself and the other contributors here are always a resource for you guys. We're always here to help you personally to navigate with what you're going through on campus, or how you can turn your career into a campus program on your campus and then move into a Turning Point contributorship just like me. So keep fighting, you guys. We are so excited to see you at conferences very soon and hopefully visit your campuses in the fall as well.
So good, Isabel. Hi, guys. I'm Alex Clark, and I am the host of Politics. It's our daily show with Turning Point USA on Instagram and Apple Podcasts and anywhere you get your podcasts. And I cover pop culture through a conservative perspective. And I'm new to Turning Point. So I just started working here almost a year ago in July, and I have just been blown away watching what you guys are doing on your campuses. Let me tell you something. We are so proud of you. I have the privilege of working at the headquarters in Arizona with Turning Point USA, and we talk about what you guys are doing on a daily basis on your campuses and off your campuses as far as activism goes all the time. In fact, in the last year, it's been some of your videos of you guys tabling and the different conflicts that you've come across on your campuses that I've shared also to my social media that has inspired people to message me because of your all's confrontations that you've experienced with college students and having those conversations. It's those moments that have ended up in people messaging me saying like, whoa, I didn't know that that's what the left has turned into. I'm kind of interested in what Turning Point USA is and what you guys are doing. What is it that you guys are promoting? Because whatever they're promoting, I don't like it and I don't want a part of it. Mm-hmm. I know that right now it feels a little bit discouraging, the fact that you can't do your in-person activism, but I can tell you right now, sometimes being an activist online is actually harder, I would say, than in person. If you think about it, people are more likely to be mean and push back and try to argue with you when they're behind their screens than they are in person, right? Like, obviously you guys have people coming up to you and you guys are engaging in some difficult conversation in real life too, whenever you do have the opportunity to be on campus. But don't underestimate how important what you're doing activism-wise online is during this summer break, and also when you are continuing into the fall semester, whether that's depending on your school, online or in person. Because every time that you interact with somebody online and you guys are talking about things like why socialism sucks and free markets and all of these different things and personal responsibility and stuff, other people than just the direct person you're talking to are seeing it. You guys are touching so many lives of people just reading along in the comments. So when you're in person, you see maybe a crowd, 2-3 people, but you've got 50, 100, 200 people reading every tweet that you post or seeing your Instagram story. That is so impactful. Don't get lazy or feel discouraged during the summer semester about your activism. This is the time that this stuff is really important. This is such a historical year to be a part of Turning Point USA. We are so excited. We are so proud of you. You guys are so brave. There's so many things that you guys go through on a daily basis. I'm like, wow, I don't know, what I would do in that situation. You guys really stand up to some crazy adversity from your schools and other students as well on a daily basis. And so I just want to give you guys encouragement, and I am so excited to see you, like Isabel was talking about, at our different events coming up this year. And this is, if you're not a Turning Point USA activist, come to our events. I would not be working for Turning Point USA if I wouldn't have come to one of our events. I went to YWLS in 2018, and that's how I ended up getting familiar with Turning Point, meeting so many Turning Point people, following along, following Charlie, following the organization, and then eventually it led to them reaching out to me, and now I work for them, and I'm doing a daily show covering pop culture. So you never know what could happen, who you will network with at our events and everything. And I just want you to feel fired up and ready to fight for our country this summer break and going into the fall semester. And we are so proud of you and we love you.
And I have to say, the fall is going to be, I'm super excited about coming to the campuses in the fall. I was actually right when all of this happened, I was literally going to like, I think 3 or 4 events back to back to back. And we did some of those events virtually. And I hope to be able to do those events on the campuses as well. Because we're going to be coming out of all of this coronavirus craziness. And just like Benny said earlier, you have gotten your free trial of socialism. I got mine. I live in New York City, and it does suck. It's horrible. And what's going to happen for you guys in the fall is it's going to give you a real world opportunity to talk to people about all of the things that we've all been dealing with in this moment. And it's going to seem so much more real to them when you reflect it back to things that they've just lived through. So I want you guys to be really excited about that. I personally have a book coming out. I know Graham does as well. I can't wait to take my book out there and share it with you guys and talk about the Black vote and the LGBT cult and all of that crazy stuff that I get into the book. So I'm super excited about the fall.
Thank you to all of our Turning Point USA contributors for everything you've done for our students this year and for the movement itself. Have a wonderful evening. And now we have an incredible special opportunity for all of you viewing from home. Charlie Kirk is giving away 100 autographed copies of his book, The MAGA Doctrine, a New York Times bestseller.
All you have to do is subscribe to The Charlie Kirk Show, screenshot that you've subscribed, and then email that to freedom@charliekirk.com with your address to qualify.
Do it now, because we're only giving away 100 signed copies. And now for the headliner of tonight's event, we get to hear from the founder and president of Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk.
Thanks, Andrew and Amy. You're doing an amazing job. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this meeting. It's been an interesting semester, to say the least. I just want to first shout out our incredible Turning Point USA staff. Just the whole organization has adapted amazingly, just with such incredible agility and entrepreneurial qualities that we try to foster every single day at Turning Point USA. For the chapter leaders out there that I was planning to come and visit and do a culture war stop, I will return. I will be back there, and we will continue to fight for the ideas of free markets, the Constitution, American exceptionalism, and I will be there as soon as the country continues to reopen. For those of you that are kind of thinking about getting involved with Turning Point USA, do it. That's part of what I want to share with you tonight. Is there has been no better time in American history to get engaged and get involved. I mean, you heard just some of the examples of how Turning Point USA has grown. We are on pace to hit 1,000 chapters before the end of the year. We are reaching millions of people on digital and social media every single day. We have Alex Clark's Daily Show with Politics. We have Graham Allen's Weekly Show. We have Benny on the Block coming out. You guys might have saw that special that we did exposing China's involvement in the virus. You also see Freedom Fights that is being published multiple times a day. And that doesn't even count some of the best cuts of some of the campus tours that we've done, with more coming around the corner. Turning Point USA is changing the game, and the numbers that we are able to talk about today as far as our reach on campuses is truly amazing. And, you know, the staff at Turning Point USA is the best in the entire movement by far. Lauren, who helped run this tonight, she's had a tough couple months. I want to shout her out and the whole events team, because obviously, given what we've gone through in the last couple months, it's hard to do what Turning Point USA does best: put thousands of people into a room. And so we will soon be back with our signature events, and very soon. I'm very confident in that. To reiterate what Andrew said, I am personally giving away 100 signed copies to Turning Point USA members tonight, personalized to your choosing. Just email me, freedom@charliekirk.com, freedom@charliekirk.com. We're going to do a drawing from that, and 100 signed to you guys tonight. So there's 3 big points I want to share with you, and then we'll get to some questions. And even before I get into that, I just want you guys to know that Turning Point USA appreciates you. We're here to empower you, and we're here to help support what you are doing on campuses. And I know it's been difficult. I know proms have been canceled. I know commencement has been canceled. I know spring sports has been canceled. I know that so many different aspects of society have just been completely altered. But know that we stand beside you, and that Turning Point USA will be stronger than ever because of what's happened. So here are 3 big takeaways I'm going to share with you tonight. Number 1, the experts can be wrong. In fact, we can probably bet that when the experts say something on national media with so much confidence in defiance of what you internally know to be true, they're probably going to be wrong. Remember, these are the same experts that predicted the stock market would crash immediately after the president was inaugurated, that said the economy would go into ruin, that said the president would never win the election in the first place, that said he would never run for president and there's no way he could beat 17 other Republicans. The experts are the same people that talk to you from their ivory towers on colleges and universities across the country, and they don't allow Socratic debate and dialogue. They don't allow cross-examination. I think this is a really important takeaway, because when we start to trust the experts too much, we start to centralize ideological control. No idea should just be taken without some form of rational cross-examination, without debate and dialogue, without some sort of discussion taking place. And I think that we've seen now, we were told that no matter what, the path that we were taking to shut down the entire American economy with some of these far left-wing forces in our culture, we just kind of took it at face value. And I think that our generation needs to realize that a lot of the decisions that were made in the last couple months hurt our generation disproportionately, despite our generation being now statistically proven least at risk for essentially at this virus, least at risk because of the virus, whether it be the $6 trillion created out of thin air, whether it be the debt and deficits that are being put on our generation, the growth of government, the administrative state, or also the hyperinflation that might ensue. So it's our generation that has had a lot of the freedoms and liberties that have been totally destroyed. And it's because we overly trusted the experts. And from a policy perspective, the president's policies have been terrific. His policies have been about reopening America, where other individuals' policies have been about continually shutting down our country. And so this also ties into what's happening on your college campuses. It's the same experts that are your university faculty and staff. I hope that you're empowered more than ever before to stand respectfully up against the experts with such confidence that say, and almost cockiness, that try to suppress your freedom of speech on college campuses. Number two, here's the other biggest takeaway at Turning Point USA. Education is changing before our eyes. I think a lot of you watching this realize that maybe this brick and mortar way of educating our generation or getting a degree needs to be put maybe in cross-examination. Maybe there's better ways to do it. Online learning. Maybe we should get rid of teacher tenure. For graduates, by the way, right now, college graduates, you were robbed. If you didn't get a full refund from your university or college and you were forced off campus, you should be righteously indignant. They basically took your money from you. They promised you a service and they did not deliver it. For any athletes out there, we have so many high school Turning Point USA chapters. And I want to just shout all of you out, the ones in the Phoenix Valley, the ones in Los Angeles, Chicago, Florida. I know so many of you are logged into this. And I'm just looking at the numbers, by the way. It's unbelievable how many people we have on this call, chapter leaders. It's incredible. And this movement is growing quicker and stronger every single day. And for your high school students out there that are athletes, you were robbed. And so look, this really goes to show that there's a true disruption happening in education. Maybe we'll get away from the cartel of the colleges where so many people in our generation and watching this call right now, you have to go so far in debt just to get that degree that everyone says you need to succeed. People say, when are we going to turn to normal? Well, maybe we don't want to return to normal when it comes to higher education. Maybe we'll have a lower cost, higher value return when it comes to higher education. That transitions to the third takeaway that I want to share with you, which is your activism right now at Turning Point USA. You're organizing these Turning Point USA chapters. You speaking your mind. You peacefully and lawfully assembling in opposition to these shutdown orders is more important than ever before. So a lot of times I would talk about socialism and Marxism as a distant concept. I'd say, yeah, Cuba, Venezuela, or even the soft socialist examples of Spain and Portugal and Italy and France. That's really dangerous if it comes here to America. Now you can turn to your socialist friend and say, did you enjoy this? Did you enjoy not being able to go to the beach or a skate park? Did you enjoy just sitting at home, basically atrophying and watching the same Netflix reruns of Tiger King or Ozark? And by the way, if they enjoyed that, then they would love socialism. But I'm betting that many of our generation are done with it. The Elon Musk, the Joe Rogans that have just rejected this totalitarian, authoritarian power grab in our society right now. And so we can go one of two ways. We can further embrace this miserable new life that we experimented for the last 60 or 70 days. Or we at Turning Point USA can lead through our educational efforts the greatest freedom revolution in American history. Because I'll tell you what, the ideas of liberty, the ideas of the Constitution, they are more resonant today than ever before. Recently, I think it might have been yesterday, a couple days ago, Mayor Eric Garcetti, shout out to our Los Angeles chapters, those of you that can't leave your home and are watching the Zoom call. He said, you have to earn your freedom back. This is nonsense. You don't have to earn your freedom back. It's a natural right given to you by God, endowed by our Creator. Your existence is your freedom. He has to prove to you why you can't leave your home. And do you know what's so amazing about liberty? Just because you leave your home doesn't mean you have to leave your home. Just because you're able to do something does not mean you have to do it. If you are fearful of the virus, you can still stay put. But why are you restricting the freedom and liberty of our generation? So that's why our activism means more than ever before. Start that group. Grow your chapter. The collectivists are on defense right now. Their favorability is going down. Americans' viewpoints of socialized control are now at record lows of this period of time. Our generation has to be the one that said, you already robbed enough from us. You took our prom, you took our commencement, you created $6 trillion that we have to pay off. No more. This is also why I think our generation has to stand firm and stand confident in demanding that our leaders put forth specific policy proposals that benefit us. About 6 weeks ago, I advocated that the United States Congress and also our leaders should advocate that there should be no more immigration to our country until we get back to pre-pandemic employment levels. It's those of you that are graduating right now, it's harder than ever to find a job. With 36 million people out of work, why will we continually issue visas when we can't take care of our own citizens? So we have an opportunity right now. We have an opportunity to convert the non-believers and convert the America haters, because they've now experienced everything we've warned them against. They've now lived through everything that we were trying to caution them. We were always the ones standing atop history and saying, stop, as William F. Buckley used to say. Now we can stand on the present and say, no more. We can now look to our generation and say, this was kind of awful, wasn't it? Let's go back to maybe ideas of Lockean first principles of when you could, I don't know, leave your home without a Chinese drone following every action and every movement that you make. That's what we at Turning Point USA are fighting for every single day. Shout out to Andrew, Amy, Lauren, Benny, the entire campus leadership program, everyone at Turning Point USA, Joe, who did an amazing job creating this beautiful place that I'm able to broadcast to you right now. We have a first-class team. We have an exceptional work ethic here at Turning Point USA, and we are going to seize this moment and lead the freedom revolution that generations from now, they'll say, boy, that virus was awful. We lost so many innocent people because China lied about it. We spent money we didn't have. We shut down the American economy. We've never seen employment get so high. But as a silver lining, that turned America towards liberty and freedom in a way that no one could have predicted, that will shake the socialists to the core and make them regret ever taking our freedom away in the first place. So please email me, freedom@charliekirk.com. We are going to select those 100 Turning Point USA leaders that I will personalize a book out to you, New York Times bestseller. I am personally doing this, and I will pay for the postage to go out to you because that's how much you mean to me, and that's how much you mean to the movement. So let's get to some questions. I know we have so many people waiting. Our amazing tech team will take it from here, and I'd love to take some of your questions.
Hi, Charlie. My name is Lauren Rutherford. I'm the president of Missouri State University's Turning Point USA chapter in Springfield, Missouri. And my question for you is, what are some steps that you think citizens or the government could take in order to uncouple America from the Chinese government?
Thank you for that question. It's a terrific question. I personally have started a project that I believe that Turning Point USA will soon adopt coming up in July huge announcements, by the way, coming for Turning Point USA in July, so be ready for that, called ChinaOnCampus.com. You can go to ChinaOnCampus.com and you can see a list of all the Confucius Institutes across the country that are funded by the Chinese Communist Party, where we also have overlap at Turning Point USA groups. And I want to segue by saying, if you're watching this right now and you feel compelled to action and you want to do something, get your friend involved, start that chapter, grow your chapter, host a Zoom meeting. Rob Smith, Isabel, Graham are terrific contributors. They'll go to as many as they possibly can. We will facilitate the organization for you. And so what can you do to kick China off your campus? Let's kick the Confucius Institutes off our campus. Let's organize. Let's get the sinister leadership of the Chinese Communist Party out of our country. Let's advocate that we actually put our students first and advocate that we put our citizens first, not the needs and wants of the Chinese Communist Party. It's against everything we believe in at Turning Point USA and everything that we believe in as a sovereign country. And so the Chinese Communist Party has built over 107 Confucius Institutes in over 40 states across the country. No more. Kick them all off. Shut them down. Peacefully protest. Don't be like the left-wing radicals where you do something so disruptive you make a fool out of yourself, but do something effective. Petition your board if you have a Confucius Institute on your campus. Demand the closure of it. Get other students involved and say, why do we have a military installation on our campus of a government that has 1 million Muslims in a concentration camp? It's not a good look for a university. It shouldn't be. Why is it that universities are so committed at divesting their holdings from fossil fuels, but they're okay with taking military installations of the Chinese Communist Party? It's kind of bizarre, perplexing, and it's unacceptable. Turning Point USA will continue to lead the charge for the most important, most effective activism on campuses across the country. That's why we're growing quicker, faster, and stronger than ever before. Amy and Andrew, they send emails. They do such an amazing job. And I want to shout out Tyler Boyer, who does an incredible job as our Chief Operation Officer, making sure this organization stays incredibly productive and flourishing. But I get these emails. We are starting almost 2 chapters a day. It's no one can believe the pace at which we are growing at Turning Point USA. But it's because we're committed to these principles. It's because we outwork what anyone would ever possibly imagine what we can do. So if you want to defeat the Chinese Communist Party, if you want to make sure China pays for the China virus, shut down the Confucius Institute. We are a student-led organization, and we are committed to righteous activism, and that is a great step to take. Let's take another question.
Hi, Charlie. I'm Tony Winship. I'm the chapter president at Worcester State University, where we're currently fighting for recognition. My question is, how do we, as a very small campus, make a big impact so that the clubs can sustain itself for years to come? And seeing as we're small enough that, we wouldn't really be able to get kind of big names to come and give speeches and do those big events like that.
It's a phenomenal question. And I did a local radio interview advocating that your public school does not shut you down. We have the most amazing students at Turning Point USA. You're resilient, you're tough, you're courageous, you're convicted, you're clear thinking. And look, first and foremost, I wish I could visit every single one of your chapters. If I could give a speech every single night and it was logistically possible, I wish I could speak every single night. It's what I love to do. And I love to meet our chapter leaders. And please feel free. If you guys have feedback, it'll eventually find, its way in front of me. If you email me at that email I shared with you, freedom@charliekirk.com. And you guys, those of you that listen to the podcast, thank you. But for some of the chapters that are struggling, that are trying to get recognition, understand you're not alone. Understand that the totalitarian left, they fear you. They fear the ideas that you're going to bring on campus. They fear the efficacy of Turning Point USA. They know that when a Turning Point USA chapter shows up, their indoctrination gets shut down. They know that when Turning Point USA gets affiliated, all of a sudden their monopoly on Marxist garbage, backwards, anti-American ideas is put into jeopardy. So keep the faith. We'd be happy to continue to assist a lot of these groups that are under assault by the administration. It's unacceptable. It's anti-American, and we have your back. Let's take another question.
Hello, my name is Callaway Denton. I am the Vice President of Turning Point USA in Louisville, Kentucky. My question for you is, with the state of the economy due to the shutdown, what advice do you have for those of us graduating and heading to college this fall? Are there particular majors that you think will be more helpful than others that will better prepare us to enter the marketplace more successfully?
Phenomenal question. And looking out for your best interests, those of you that are graduating, that's why I mentioned what I did, because it's time we put our students first in a time of national crisis. And it's been very well received, and it's something that I'm very proud to advocate for. So look, here's one thing I want to make perfectly clear, though. I recognize all of the hardship that you have gone through, but none of that is an excuse to play the victim. It's a very fine balance. Let's not get into what the left always does and says, oh, feel bad for me because of all this. It's true that you have gone through a period that should make you upset. It's true that you have been disproportionately displaced. However, that's not an excuse not to be the best human being you could possibly be. To tell the truth, apply yourself, work harder today than you did yesterday, wake up earlier, read more books, be better understanding of these big ideas and these big questions facing our society. You will succeed in the job market if you outwork everyone else at that job. It's that simple. Act ethically and work hard. Now, as far as the skill set, I believe that no matter what you studied or what you did, how you apply it is what matters. And I think it's more about how you act than the credential that you have. And for those of you that are looking for specific career advice, I could tell you, be the hungriest person in the room. Be humble. Be able to take feedback and take advice. Understand you might not have all the answers right out of the gate. But you, as a Turning Point USA member, wear that badge that I can work harder than the other people, and I will, and then you will succeed. Because other people are going to be around pointing, blaming other people. And trust me, I'll be leading the charge for that. But that's not an excuse to say that you cannot exceed in the greatest country in the history of the world. Let's take another question.
Hey Charlie, my name is Isabella, and my question for you is, today Attorney General Bill Barr announced today that there most likely will not be a criminal investigation into either President Obama or into Joe Biden, even though that there was sufficient evidence that they both were involved in the unmasking of General Flynn as well as spying on the Trump campaign. When Trey Gowdy left Washington, one of his major reasons he cited for leaving Washington was the duplicity in Washington, that there's one set of laws for us and then another set of laws for them. So my question to you is, how can we continue to believe in the rule of law when people like General Flynn lose their home trying to pay for their legal defense over a bogus criminal investigation, yet major players who committed actual crimes get to walk away with no accountability? And do you think we'll ever see accountability against Obama and his administration? Thank you.
So I just want to remind everyone that Turning Point USA is a 501c3 nonprofit. We're an educational organization. We're taking no stance on the 2020 elections. We do not support candidates. We do not support individuals that are running for office, and we stay neutral in all of that. So with that being said, we do, I personally support the pursuit of the rule of law, and that we support that we get to the bottom of this. It's completely unfair and not right that people like Lieutenant General Michael Flynn have been targeted the way they have been. And we have to get to the bottom of it. We have to pursue truth at all costs, and that we have to be ambassadors for transparency first and foremost. And I think that's extremely important in every single regard. This will be the final question. I know that a lot of people have plans to go watch a Netflix show or something. I'm half kidding, of course, because they're probably not going out to do much right now, but we want to be respectful of everyone's time and how attentive you've been. And the numbers have been absolutely amazing. So thank you guys for that. This will be the final question.
Hi, Charlie. My name is Izzy Chisholm, and I attend the University of Detroit Mercy in Detroit, Michigan. My question for you is, what can we do as conservatives who don't believe in the tyrannical lockdowns that some of these governors are placing, including my governor, Gretchen Whitmer?
It's a phenomenal question. As I mentioned, peacefully and lawfully push back against these measures that have been put forward by these tyrants. And it goes for people in all different types of stripes. We're really starting to see who actually believes in freedom and liberty right now. We're starting to see who actually believes in the foundational values of our country. I believe that if every single Turning Point USA leader peacefully rebelled I have to keep saying that because I think that there's a journalist that might misinterpret what I'm saying. Peacefully rebelled up against what's happening right now, we could really start to see change. That is the power of Turning Point USA, to be able to educate the populace, to be able to educate the public around the ideas of personal responsibility, free enterprise, limited government, and to kind of take this all full circle. This is why you're involved. This is why you are fighting every single day at Turning Point USA. You're involved to be able to make a difference, to change hearts and minds. Politics is fine, but Turning Point USA is not a political organization. We're a cultural one. And politics flows downstream from culture. We are about convincing our generation, rather persuasively, to embrace the ideas of free enterprise, to embrace the ideas of a strong America and an America renewal. And I can tell you that Turning Point USA, we are going through the most amazing period of growth, even during this period of uncertainty, because people are looking for answers right now. And that's why what you are doing is so critical. That is why what you are doing is so important. And we have your back. And I know that we have a lot of ideological diversity in Turning Point USA. And guess what? As long as you love our country and love the Constitution and want to go up against the left, welcome aboard. That's what makes Turning Point USA different, is that we are a bridge building organization. As long as you love our country and you love our Constitution and you love free enterprise. That is why our numbers are skyrocketing. That is why you guys are the freedom fighting heroes, more so than ever before. You're the backbone of our country. You know, I get calls from the White House. I actually got a call from the White House today. And they said, Charlie, what you're doing at Turning Point USA is unbelievable. They say, we see your students. We see their activism. We see chapters. And I won't name any individual chapter names, but they see a chapter in Texas, and they mentioned a chapter in Arizona that's doing some unbelievable act. This is the White House, folks. And they see what you're doing. They see the impact that you're making on the public conversation. I was talking to a senator a couple days, and one of them, you know, is joining the Charlie Kirk show tomorrow. They say, Charlie, what Turning Point USA has done, and I'm not taking credit for it at all. I just started this movement and just lit a match, and it's incredible to see what you have been able to accomplish. And so as we're doing the summer send-off right now, and as we are on the precipice of a summer of transition into a fall of action, a fall of educational action around the principles of free enterprise and limited government and the Constitution, know that you are making an impact at the highest levels of leadership in our country. And when I was on the phone with some people in the White House, and you can guess who, I won't say any names, but you can guess who, they see our Turning Point USA chapters. They see the impact that you're making. They understand that you are the greatest vanguard for liberty that we have in America. They understand that when a Turning Point USA chapter gets chartered, a leftist loses sleep that night. They know that when TCU, just a small example of the many fights we've gotten involved in, when they capitulate to the peaceful pressure that we applied, all of a sudden that means that freedom is more likely to win tomorrow than today. That's the significance of what you are doing. And so, yes, we will have events again where we pack the rafters with 5,000 students. Yes, we will have the campus tour again. I can't say any dates because a lot of that's out of our control. But I can say this, that if we seize on this opportunity right now and go to every socialist and every campus and every individual all across the country and make the clear and convincing and courageous argument where we say no more of the shutdown nonsense. You enjoyed that? You enjoy that 90 days of Marxism? You enjoyed being able to do nothing as you wished to see fit, where you had the most arbitrary shutdown measures imaginable, where they said only one person in a boat, you can't go to your second home in wet sand and not dry sand, and we're going to put the sand on the skate rink park. And we know there's something wrong with that. We instinctively know that. This is why liberty is so profound. No more do we have to argue that socialism might not come here. We just had a test of it. It's time to get it out of our system once and for all. This awful period, this unspeakable chapter in American history, where so many people lost their lives, could begin a new chapter. And I'm not saying that this was a positive. That's not what I'm saying. This is an awful chapter in American history where we lost tens of thousands of uncles and aunts and grandparents and sisters and brothers. Real pain and real misery was felt. But as we go to this next chapter, what if I told you that you listening to this right now could start an American Renaissance and an American revolution for freedom, the likes of which that was never expected by the Marxists, the likes of which that the collectivists are panicking right now because they know they're losing. It's time to play offense with a sense of urgency to win America's culture war. Get engaged, get involved. We have your back. God bless you guys. I can't wait to see you in person sometime soon. And I promise a picture maybe has to be socially distanced with every single one of you. So again, I'm going to up the ante. I will do 120 total books. So I'm going to add 20 more books to that total, personalized to the next 20 people right now that prove you're subscribed to my podcast, freedom@charliekirk.com. I will stay late at the office, send them out, and send them off to you personally right now. It's freedom@charliekirk.com. Just prove to me that you're listening to the show. It means a lot to me, and then I'll shoot it off to you guys. So I want to hand it back to Andrew and Amy. But one final thought. You guys are at a generational turning point. Seize it. Act on it. We have your back. We are going to win. They are going to lose. God bless you guys. Back to the bosses, Amy and Andrew.
Thank you, Charlie. And thank you for starting this organization and helping us wrap up the school year.
And thank you so much to everyone that's joined in this evening. We really appreciate your involvement and look forward to working with you on campus.
We've had a big year. Rest up this summer because we have even bigger things coming this next year. We do what we do because of you.
All right, everybody, and that is it. Thank you so much, Michelle Malkin, Nick Fuentes, Jaden McNeil, and I'm sure a lot of other gripers, but those three especially for appearing. Thank you, everybody, for coming on to the show. I encourage you to go to check those three guys out. They are phenomenal. And you know what? Thank you so much, all the donators. Thank you for watching, really. Thank you for watching. I appreciate every single one of you watching. This is so awesome. And next time they stream, I will be there streaming it. So head on over to my channel next time they announce another Q&A sesh with which is all pre-recorded. Just all happens to just be pre-recorded. But I mean, except for that, I mean, you could just see like literally the frames dropping as they have as these so-called questions. I mean, I guess they are technically, but I mean, he literally hit the play button on them. So because the guy's computer, the guy's Mac was his CPU is just not very good, and I couldn't handle the 4K the 4K videos. So it's just the frames dropping. But yeah. So thank you everybody for watching. That's really all I have for you. And yeah, go check those three guys out if you don't even know what a griper. Yeah, well, if you don't know what a griper is, I don't even know. There's you got a long road ahead of you. But for everybody else, thank you so much for watching. And this will be on my YouTube, link in bio. Or in the About section, you can just click on the YouTube section there. This will be on the YouTube. And it's really all I have for you tonight. I don't know if I'll be doing a stream later. Probably not. I have a huge exam tomorrow, so I can't. I gotta get some sleep. But I otherwise I would do a stream. But yeah. And also join my Discord if you want. Pretty cool. We'd have a good time. And no feds. Hopefully, we'll put on some music. We'll get here. Let's yo.